guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another plant video. Today I'm going to be talking about a plant that I am literally like murdering. I feel so bad for it, but I got this video idea from Hey It's Davy here on YouTube. I'll make sure to link her video below. She made a video all about the plants that she's killing right now, and luckily I only have a couple. But this is the one that I'm pretty much going to be like focusing on today because it's actually like bouncing back. So, like, thank God it's bouncing back. I bought this plant from a nursery in Kingwood called Nadius. And when I bought it, it was very pretty. It did have some brown spots on it though. Like, it did have some crispy tips, and I figured, you know, if it has crispy tips, it'll be okay once it moves into my environment, my humid, hot, pretty environment. I will make sure to fix it. Well, that didn't go as planned. It looks awful, you guys. It looked worse too. It looked worse. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up. So these leaves are literally rolling in on themselves. Do you guys like see there? It's so bad. It is so bad. I feel so awful that I've done this to a plant. But you know, I'm making this video just to show you guys that all us plant people on the internet can kill plants too. And it doesn't just have to be overwatering it. This was actually one of my first plants. So I will recommend that you do not get a Calathea as your first plant or like in the beginner plant category. It's just not in the beginner plant category. So don't get it. When I first got it, I thought to myself, leave it in the nursery pot for as long as you can. Try to let it acclimate to your environment first before you do anything to it. But little old me saw that there was a bunch of hard water spots on the leaves and decided that I was gonna polish it. So I did, and I used like tap water and lemon juice to clean off its leaves. And I think that might have been something that triggered it to start shriveling up. And I thought, you know, I thought it would be fine because everybody says that like lemon juice is the most natural, like acidic thing to use instead of using things like coconut oil or like milk, and instead of using like an actual like chemical polisher spray that you can buy from Home Depot. So that's one mistake that I think I made. I believe, I will never know for sure unless it decides that it's gonna talk to me one day, but I think that that's one thing that really like pushed it a little bit further into the dying category. And so I did that, right? And then I did a bunch of research on Calatheas and how to care for them. So I decided I was going to try and change up the soil a little bit. But in my little brain, I thought it still needs some soil that it was in before to be able to acclimate properly. So like mix the soil with my new soil. So that's what I did. I decided to keep like 50% of the old soil and 50% of the new soil that I gave it, which was African violet soil. So I did that, and that is when everything just went like downhill. Everything kept going downhill, everything kept looking bad. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to cut off the crispy edges. I did not need to cut off the crispy edges. Don't cut off your crispy edges, guys. Don't do it. I honestly think that it accelerates the speed of its crispiness. So I decided to do that. So that's 3. This is a third thing that I was like, okay, like let me try and save it by, instead of fixing the stuff around it, let me just cut off the dead pieces. And it wasn't that I was cutting off the leaf. I was not cutting off at the base. I was not like pulling out the dead leaf. I was just grabbing the dead part of the leaf, like grabbing the shrivelly bit and snipping it off. Don't do that. I just would not recommend doing it. I'm not 100% sure if that is the reason why it started like getting worse, but it is a reason why I think that my plant started getting worse, because after I did that, it was just like it was just bad. I would not recommend doing that. So I realized I'm giving it the correct water. I'm giving it the correct environment in terms of humidity, because I live in Houston. It's 70% humidity and I have a humidifier next to it. And three, it's in filtered light in a relatively low light spot. So it's not getting too much light. So like, what could it be? What could it be? What could it be? And then I was like, it's probably the soil. You guys, if you get a Calathea and it has like a ton of those little like slow release fertilizer balls, just move it. Move the Calathea from the very fertilized soil, because I'm pretty sure that's what was killing this plant. Like I don't know why when I got it and when I thought to repot it, I don't know why I didn't just use all new soil. And that was a beginner mistake. It's something that I'm not going to do again with Calatheas, at least. I am happy to announce that it is getting a new leaf. Finally, after like a month of having this plant, it's finally getting a new leaf, and it doesn't look like the leaf is going to come out crispy. So yeah, this is what it looks like, that new leaf that's coming out right there. Hopefully I don't jinx myself in making this video, but it seems like it's doing much better now. I finally changed out the soil. I left it in a nursery pot because I'm trying to let it keep as much moisture as it can, because it's looking a little funky. I'm leaving all of the crispy leaves because, I mean, that's all that it has. It only has crispy leaves. I am taking them off as soon as they start to, you know, kind of look like the bottom leaves down here. When they start to look like this, I start cutting them off. But as far as the larger leaves that are like this, I'm leaving them be. I'm just letting them shrivel up and die because it does have a new leaf. So that being said, in order to try and conserve as much as the plant that I had, I decided to divide the best leaves from the plant and put it in water. So I know that you can't really water propagate a Calathea because they can really only be propagated by division. I wanted to put the division into a different kind of soil, just in case the soil that I had was not going to work for this one. So I decided to put it in water, but I didn't have a different kind of soil, and I honestly never got around to buying it before making this video. I probably will buy some African violet soil in a few days, but I just haven't been able to. But I did separate the good leaves from this plant and put it into this plant, and it's actually putting out a new leaf in water. You guys can see it right there. That is a new leaf that's coming out. So it seems to be doing relatively well in here, and as you can see, the leaves are nowhere near as crispy as these leaves are. Again, these were the best leaves that were on this plant, so you know, I figured might as well save the best of it and see if it just comes back. I fully expected this plant to shrivel up and die on me. I didn't expect it to put out a new leaf, and that new leaf happened probably like maybe 2 days after I repotted it. I started seeing the new growth. So it just, I think you really have to just watch the soil that you have your Calatheas in, you guys. If you want to divide and then like stick them in some water, it seems like they do really well there too. But make sure that they actually have roots, because from what I've read, you can't really propagate a Calathea in water from like a stem cutting or anything like that. So just make sure that they have roots if you end up putting it in water. But yeah, I seem to be saving my Calathea. It's awful, you guys. The feeling of seeing your plant just shrivel up and die the way that this one is shriveling up is just, my heart like broke like when I saw it, and I was just like, why can't I save you? Sometimes you just can't save plants, and I get that. Like if you overwater them and you don't like fix the issue immediately, you're probably going to end up with a dead plant, and that's fine. You guys can kill plants and still be good plant parents. So that's pretty much the whole gist of this video is try your hardest to save them, and maybe they'll come back. And if you can't save them, then it's no big deal and you can get another plant and just learn from your mistakes. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it from this video. Sorry if it was long and rambly and it was only about one plant, but I just kind of wanted to get the message out there. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like down below, and if you liked me, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. But that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. Me and my singing bird now say goodbye. Bye!